So the problem I'm having is I don't have a lock cylinder. Just kidding. I have one. But it came out. So I need to make it go back in and stay there. By the way, this is my Corvette. It's pretty rad. But this is a better picture because that was too dark. This is me. I'm an idiot who doesn't know what I'm doing. And that's my dog. And this is what you're going to need. You're going to want the service manual for your year. So for me personally, I found this on page 1B13. And it tells you how to deal with the door handles and stuff. That's an exploded view of car parts. And these are more diagrams. Anyway, this is a funny little tool called J7797 in the manual. It helps you take the clips off of the door parts and put them back on. So that's important. This is my headlamp. It is like really important for me because my garage is super dark. This is a socket wrench set, and this is a screwdriver, which you will need. Unfortunately, mine's been chewed to death. Thanks. And then the faithful multi-tool, and these two tools I use to bang shit because I needed to bang some stuff. So right now I can open the door with my finger, which is a problem. Thieves and the like. So I want to make it so that the lock cylinder can work properly. So first thing we're going to want to do, if you notice the lights are on, we need to turn off the battery because the door is going to be open, and that's going to make the power run out. So let's find the battery behind the front seat in this little vault that you can open up, and just disconnect the red wire there. And that'll make it so that your battery doesn't die. So before you remove the door panel, you're going to have to remove the window crank, the rotating locking mechanism, the lock handle, and the normal handle for opening the door. So you unscrew the regular handle from both ends. What you're going to notice is that one screw is smaller than the other one. The small screw goes on the bottom. So we use the funky tool to remove the locking rotating mechanism. There's a clip in there, and you want to pop the clip out. So that's what it looks like. So you also use the funny tool to remove the window crank, slide it in on the handle side. So these clips might fly out. Make sure they don't fly out and hit you in the eye or something, or worse if you lose it. This is, I don't know what this is. Anyway, moving on to the handle. There's a screw in the back of the handle that you have to remove. And that's what it looks like. You remove it like that, and then you slide the handle right off, the lock handle. Now you're ready to take the door trim off. There's 4 screws that hold the door trim in. 2 of them are in the trim itself, and then the other 2 are actually in the metal part of the door. They're fairly obvious to find, so just look around the door, find those 4 screws. They look like this when you take them out, and then you can peel the door trim off. Be very, very gentle when pulling the trim off. You don't want to break anything, but it pretty much comes right off. And then the inside of the door looks like this, which is kind of cool. It's like a robot or something. What do you know? A lucky penny. That came out when I took the trim off. So I can see the clip that needs to hold the lock cylinder in. I can't reach it though. So I'm going to have to take another piece off, which is this piece, which is conveniently easy to remove. So I'm just going to use the socket wrench and remove this piece. And inside the door frame is the clip that fell off the lock cylinder. So that's going to hold the lock cylinder in place. It fits on it, holding it in the door. So this is what those 2 pieces look like, the lock cylinder and the clip that holds it in. The clip that holds it in fits in kind of like so. Yeah. Make sure the locking mechanism connects to the hole in the lock cylinder. You can kind of see it like this. You're just going to have to make sure that that hole lines up with the rod, and then you're going to put the clip in. I'm not completely happy with that job, but it'll do. It's pretty sturdy. So now I can put the door back together, just the way that I took it apart, except in reverse, of course. It wouldn't make sense to do it in normal order because then you'd have like 2 doors or something. It's kind of tricky to get the clips back into the parts of the door that require the clips. Remember the funky device? The other end of it allows you to put the clips in. So they'll hold the clips in place as you place those pieces on. Another tricky part is getting the lock handle to fit back on. So you're actually going to need to use a flathead screwdriver to pry it and then slide the handle back on. And now it's time to reconnect the battery and you're good to go. Now my lock works. So hope you enjoyed my video. I hope it helped. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but that's the general gist of what to do with your 1971 C3 Corvette door if the lock cylinder fell out. Have a great day.